Hi. So I wanted to talk today about connection. When I first started my journey of healing many years ago, I was told this thing of you gotta increase your self-esteem by doing esteemable acts. Gotta love yourself. And the thing is I didn't know what they were talking about. So I researched it a little bit, started taking myself out on some dates, eating at a restaurant alone. I started doing esteemable acts, showing up for service opportunities, loving on people more, and I was grateful for those opportunities because it got myself out of my own head. And it was good. There was still some healing that needed to be done that I didn't even know was possible, though. And that's when I thought that I was going to start focusing more on my body and just healing my body. But it turned into so much more. And the reason why I say that is because I didn't realize that the connection to myself, my inner self, my divine source of self, I guess you would say, I would say, that I had kind of lost connection to, despite my very best efforts. Maybe some of it had healed, but just not quite enough. So I got around some people who I would call experts at this whole thing, and they had survived codependency and came out pretty happy on the other side. And so I started hanging out with them, and someone told me, just stop. Don't do anything. What? That was my reaction. I'm supposed to not do anything about this thing that's bothering me right here, right now in this moment? Really? And I didn't get what she was talking about. It was so hard for me because I had been raised to push harder, do more. And if that doesn't work, do a little bit more. And not focus on how I'm feeling, just work harder. And I could not seem to wrap my head around it. And so fast forward several years later, and I'm at this crossroad again. I was at this crossroad again, and I was like, here it is coming up again. You gotta love yourself. Gotta care about how you feel. Oof. I thought I had been, I was kind of one of the more sensitive children in my family. And I was kind of told that I wore my heart on my sleeve a little bit. And anyway, I thought I had enough feeling, for goodness sakes. I thought that I needed to shut that down so I could focus on getting where I wanted to go, being with people and helping them be happy. Because then I would know that I could be happy too. Oh. Well, part of this whole journey with gestational diabetes has been learning how to tune into myself, learning my body, not what other people say affects their body. Not, I mean, you know, there's certain rules, certain things having to do with physiology that we know so far. And I'm not saying to cut those out. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But there are ways that, as being a diabetic, food just can affect me differently. And I had to learn that for myself. There were doctors and nurses and nutritionists and other people, even other diabetics who kind of like talked to me. But I had to learn what really worked for myself. And the only way I could do that was to really tune in. And it just felt so cheesy at the time, but I kept with it. I started doing it. I started doing all the things that I've been telling you about. And there's more to come. There's a lot more. There's so many tools and resources that we can use to feel better. And then that trickled over also into being able to like connect better with other people, because once I felt better in my own skin, once I started caring about how I felt around other people and listening and trusting that and not fighting what was coming up, it all worked out. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny that there's this guidance system within us that if we just trust and rely on, we can't go wrong. It's beautiful.